So manifesting versus theater of the mind, and why I have read a bunch of books, right? I've read so many books. I have like Power of Awareness right here by Neville Goddard, right here, one of my favorite books. I've read a lot of books from other authors, Dr. Joseph Spenza, Dr. Maxwell Maltz, from Dr. Wayne Dyer, lots of books on manifesting. But what I want you to tell you is which techniques I really believe in and which have been really consistent, have given me consistent results, and which techniques may give you wishy-washy results or may even not get you your desires. So my name is Rohit and welcome to my channel, and I've been studying about law of attraction manifestation for years now, and my goal with this channel is to really help people understand and really see the power of their awareness so that they can create their dream life, get their dream job, get their dream relationship, whatever they desire. So very simply put, when I started on my journey to manifesting, one of the first things that happened is I read the book. I was in a dark place, not in the best place, and I read The Erroneous Zones by Dr. Wayne Dyer. And I found that book really practical, really useful. And I was very hard at it. I'm a computer science engineer, so I'm like always about logic, practical things, technical stuff and things. I read, and I found this book very practical. And then later on, I was always curious, so I wanted to find more book by Dr. Wayne Dyer. So I got Stop the Excuses for My Sister, and then I got Power of Intention. In the Power of Intention was very different from Your Erroneous Zones. Your Erroneous Zones was very practical, very step by step, do this, do that, do this, or you shouldn't do this and that. Very direct. There wasn't any mention of law of attraction, manifesting, any of these. No energy talk, no metaphysical talk. But Power of Intention was very different. It was all about creating things in your reality, how you can manifest things, how you can create different kinds of circumstances, situations. You can heal yourself. You can create abundance, wealth, love. It was very different, and I felt like, Dr. Wayne Dyer, I really respect you, but I think you're losing it. That's what I was thinking at that time. I lost the plot and whatever. Anyway, I stopped it, but I didn't even read the book properly. I kind of dropped it because I wasn't into that, right? And then I was going through my work, really working really hard, but always struggling, always failing. Even after working extremely hard, I wasn't getting what I wanted, right? And my mom had the book The Secret with her, and she also bought the DVD, right? And the book was in Hindi, but the DVD was in English. I read the book and I was like, it's curious. I'm not really sure. I read a little bit. But I remember watching the movie, and first my mind going, these techniques don't work. Oh, what kind of nonsense is this? What? The secret has been hidden. Well, what if the secret was hidden for thousands of years? Wouldn't people know it? This is crazy, and this is whatever. I was constantly coming from a logical standpoint, like thinking from like computer science, logical, practical things, and very realistic things. But that movie is so different. And then I realized, okay, I should give it a chance. I'm not getting anyway what I want. I've been doing all these practical things and working extremely hard. My health is a mess. My job is a mess. My relationships are a mess. Everything is a mess. So whatever, right? And then I started reading it. I read it, and somewhere it was Neville Goddard was mentioned. Bob Proctor was there. Then from Bob Proctor, I found Maxwell Maltz's book, Cybernetics. And then I found Dr. Joseph Spenza and a lot of different authors, right? And I read all of them. For me personally, Cybernetics was very practical, very logical, everything. And what they thought about is very similar to how manifesting works, not perfectly accurate though. So I will tell you about this exercise, which I learned, called the theater of the mind, right? Where you imagine and you are in a theater, and there's no one in the theater. First, you relax yourself and you go within. You are in a theater, you're looking at the screen, and you're looking yourself doing the thing. So I did this for a presentation. So I had a presentation coming up. That time I was in Africa. I was working for a very, very big telecom operator, and I had to give a presentation. a very small presentation, and I was asked to give it. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna present it to the salespeople very quickly, and I wouldn't have to think too much about it. So I was there thinking. So I visualized myself giving a perfect presentation, right? Looking at myself giving that perfect presentation, I felt this joy of emotions. I'm looking at, like, I'm in a theater, I'm looking at this screen on a theater, on big screen, it's bright, I can see myself giving presentation, I'm super confident, I'm able to answer queries like that, I'm being very practical and great. And I did that, imagine it a few times, and I let it go. And the thing is, that thing never happened that month. Okay, that thing never happened that month. For some reason, they decided not to pursue that project, so I never had to give that presentation. But down in the future, I had to give a presentation, and that presentation went very well. And I was asked the same kind of questions when I had been asked in psycho-cybernetics. But at the same time, this is what happened a few times. It was someone else giving the presentation, and the customers asked the question, and my team member asked me to help them with the question. So then I went on stage, like so-called stage, it was just a meeting room, and then I answered the questions. And then the ending happened. Now, this instance, was I giving the presentation? I wasn't, but I was answering the questions. So it's not exactly what manifested. It wasn't my presentation, it was someone else's presentation. They asked me a question, so I came up and I just answered those questions. So really, what really got impressed was not exactly what I wanted, right? I impressed seeing myself in 3D on a screen of space. And then I had the feeling of answering the questions. So I was asked to answer the questions, but I saw someone else doing the presentation. Okay, so this is why theater of the mind can give you mixed results. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work, because it depends on what you're impressing. You can impress thoughts, you can impress feelings, you can impress visions, you can impress words. There are so many, like, imagination is very broad. There are hundreds of things. You can impress any of your senses. So depend on what you kind of impress properly, that is the one which is gonna manifest, right? So if you're really a visualizer person, like a person who does visualization a lot, like I do, your sense of visualization will be very strong. But for me, my sense of feeling is also very strong. So sometimes the visualization get impressed, sometimes the feelings get impressed. Now here what happened is, when I was visualizing answering the question, I felt this confidence, and I can answer the question, I can handle it. So that was the answering the question part got impressed, but giving the presentation didn't get impressed. So that is where the split is in the theater of the mind in the traditional Neville Goddard manifesting techniques. Because when Neville says, he says to go through the end. First of all, when I'm visualizing myself giving the presentation, am I at the end? That's a big question. I'm not really at the end. So that doesn't mean I have given a successful presentation. It means I'm doing a presentation which might tank later, which I might mess up later, or something might happen. So I'm kind of manifesting the middle. I'm not really going straight to the end. So that's one drawback of theater of the mind. You can change the scene, so it implies that it's at the end. And second thing is, I'm seeing myself on the screen of space. So for a human mind, the only time you can actually see yourself on the screen of space, or I would say 2 times, is either you see yourself in a mirror, or you see yourself on a movie screen, actually, like on a video, giving a presentation, right? Or somebody records you and you see yourself. That's the only 2 times you're ever going to see yourself on 3D, right? It's very rare. From any other way, I don't know if you can ever see yourself. So when you see yourself, because you have impressed that scene, but since you can't really see yourself, you will see someone else. You might see someone else do that presentation, or someone else do that imaginal act, because it has come to reality. And then when you're looking at that person, you're thinking, that is me. I'm seeing myself, right? So your mind is gonna make sense of it that way. So you see kind of why theater of mind gives you mixed results. It works, sometimes it doesn't work. And also about, like, I met a dating coach, and he had a course, and I was very curious about it. And he talks about manifesting and all that. It was like a dating coach talking about manifesting. That is very unusual. And he had experience in theater, and I bought his book or course, which was like $20-$30, something like quite really affordable. I was really curious at that time, like what he was teaching. So he taught the theater of the mind to ask women on dates. He taught the same technique, seeing yourself confidently approaching women or confidently talking to them, asking them out on a date and all that. I was like, this is curious. And some of the people got results, some of the people didn't get results. So this is what I wanted to share, because we are kind of visualizing the middle and we are not seeing from the first person. Two major points. So you have to go straight to the end. At the end, so if you are visualizing giving a presentation, it should be like a friend or somebody telling you or somebody confirming you, man, that was an amazing visualization. Oh, sorry, that was an amazing presentation. Or that was amazing. You did really well, right? Somebody else. So that implies your presentation went well. You don't have to visualize yourself in the presentation. You can visualize it at the end of the presentation. It also takes a lot of pressure off, because you don't have to really know how the presentation went. Okay. So that's the thing. And second of all, second thing is you see it from your own eyes, right? Here you're seeing yourself on the screen of space. It may get impressed, it may not get impressed. It depends on how well you're impressing, or what kind of thing you're impressing, which sense is the most dominant one in your impressions. That is what that matters. So think about it, experiment it, and please share your experiences, because not only that, I've read Esther Hicks, I've read a lot of other authors in their books. Their techniques work sometimes they work, sometimes they don't work, but the most logical and the most predictable and the most dependable techniques have always come from Neville. And I think he got it from his teacher Abdullah, and I think Abdullah got it from his teacher, and I don't know who gave them these teachings. They are in the Bible, but a Bible is kind of very archaic language. It's kind of hard to understand in the Old Testament, and it's always written in like parables or fables, so it's kind of difficult to understand. But now the technique has been simplified, so you can just use the technique. So feel free to share if you have any experiences like that, and what you learned, what you didn't learn, what was your experience. And if you found this video useful, please subscribe to this channel, share it with others like this so it can reach more people, and I will wish you great success on your manifesting journey. Hang on, I will also share some of the books, so you guys can tell me if you want me to discuss about any other techniques you want to discuss. Let me just bring out the books. I just wanted to show you guys, and if you have had experience with reading the other books, the first one is Dr. Joseph Murphy's The Great Truths That Set Us Free. He talks in a lot of biblical terms. He refers to Bible a lot. But if you just look at this, he says here, your imagination is like a canvas. Paint a picture, have faith in the reality of existence, and your picture will come to life. Very similar to what Neville teaches, but his angle is very biblical, and he literally believes in the things in the Bible. Whereas when Neville said Bible, everything is it's like a story which is telling you how to do the technique. The characters in Bible are fictional, whereas he kind of believes some of them are literal. But it's a great book. He has some techniques in there which I found useful, partially not. Richest Man in Babylon, this is another one where they do talk about abundance a lot, being in the end a lot, right? But it's kind of more practical angle. But if you look like deeply, you will see that they're talking about abundance, success, being at the end, kind of similar to what Neville talks about. And Power of Deliberate Intent. Intent, I've already made a video about intent versus manifesting, so you will already. This book is also pretty good because I had some success with it. I made some money with it. I manifested dates with it, and a lot of disastrous manifestations as well. I mean, I manifested failures of manifestation. So I got some results from Esther Hicks' teachings, but I wasn't really able to make it systematic. And I tried to trace it. I tried to keep a record of it. Being a computer science engineer and nerd I am, but I still wasn't able to really finally depend on this technique. I also have Dr. Wayne Dyer's book. I don't know where I've kept it. And finally, one of my favorite books, Power of Awareness, which really explains everything living in the end. And 5 lessons. I couldn't even find the book on 5 lessons, so I just printed it and just wrote it in my bad writing, 5 lessons. So yeah, if you've read any of these books, feel free to share. And if you've had experiences with it, different experiences, people have a different experience with manifesting. So please share those experiences and tell me like which books got you some results, which books didn't get you results. And it's not to say the other books don't work, but if you really just want to really become good at manifesting and really go deep within, Neville is all you need. And just experiment, test it, try it out things. And it's by testing all these different authors and different techniques, you will learn a lot by yourself, right? Or you can watch my videos. There are other people on YouTube, Instagram as well who talk about manifesting, who are very good as well. So you can follow them, follow me, and read these books. But all you need is Neville's books and like a video about, I shared a video about how to do the visualization. That is all you need. You don't need to like go on collecting knowledge. Eventually it's about practical application and testing it and recording it. Test, record, test, record, test, record. You have to be more practical, and that is how you will get the results. So please subscribe to this channel. I hope you like the videos, and I wish you great success with your manifesting journey. Take care.